What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Married with a Purpose.
Yes.
This is Greg,
And this is Carolyn.
and let us know where you're chiming in from because that's so important to each one of us. Did I say each one of us?
You did. It's like that one you threw me yesterday.
Each one of us, each one teach one, reach one. So we reaching one, teaching one, all that. As you can see, we both like to have fun, because that's what marriage is all about. So get your pen and your pad out and take some notes. Share this out. Let us know where you're chiming in from, what city, what state. Are you watching us live? If you're watching us live, type a one in the chat box and let us know where you chiming in, where you chiming in from, whether it be Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Dayton. Those are all Ohio places.
Wherever. Just say wherever.
Wherever. You could be typing in from Great Britain. You could be typing in from uh, Tobago, the Virgin Islands.
I don't think I turned my
You could
phone
be
off.
you could be typing in from any place. Let me make sure my phone is off. It wasn't. It is
Okay.
now. But we want to make sure that we give everybody a shout out, depending on where you're coming in from. I definitely want to know that, because you could be coming in from anywhere. And what's our title we talking about today, Crow? What we talking about?
What
What,
are you feeding in your marriage?
what are you feeding in your marriage?
And
Woo-wee.
you know what's interesting?
What are you feeding? That's good right there.
It is very good.
Woo-wee.
Because when you first said it to me as a title, I said, what kind of question is that?
Because you're feeding your marriage something.
Yeah.
You either feeding it positive or you feeding it negative.
Mm-hmm.
And in our case, we were in the beginning, we was feeding a lot of negative. We sprinkled in the positive because it didn't start off negative. Every marriage should start off with a lot of, like the 4th of July, a lot of bang and a lot of glitz and a lot of glory and a lot of all of the little happy things that happen.
Yeah.
Then as time starts to go on, then things start to drift away.
So what you focus on in your marriage
Is
grows.
what you focus on in your marriage grows. Isn't that deep?
Yeah, because I told you when you picked that title, I'm like, so where's this conversation going?
Yep. Hey.
So key thing, if you dwell on your spouse's flaws or the negative things, the mistakes or the shortcomings you see in your spouse,
I want to know that too. I
y-
I want to
it,
I want to know that. I want to
it's
know
not going to go good.
what's not going to go good.
The marriage, because the frustration is going to grow because you're focusing on negative things.
And when people focus on negative things, is that because they don't know, or because they got frustrated? They become complacent in their marriage. What is the case?
All those things.
And then you eating the mic now.
I'm eating the mic. All those
See, when
things.
look.
I'm serious.
So what do you think are some things that will cause a person to get frustrated and drift away and not feed themselves or feed their spouse negative or positive things in that marriage?
Feed positive or negative?
Positive.
Oh,
What will cause them? Well, what will cause them to feed negative as well? Because
I think,
obviously they
you know
drifted
what
for
I
some
think?
reason.
What I think? I think people need to check themselves first.
Ooh, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Because when you focus on negative things, you can't expect anything but negative results.
Now that right there is and here's what came to my mind when you said that. When you focus on negative things, you can't help but have negative thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Because we talked about this earlier, is like when we first started out in this marriage 40 years ago, I had black hair and I had a black beard. Carolyn had long black hair, and now
it
she
ain't
got short
it
gray
ain't
hair.
long and it ain't black.
It's not, no. So the transition took place. So
Mhm.
my point to all this is, you would people would think that, oh well, I want my spouse to go back to the way they were. Well, there's not a time machine here.
Right,
There's
right.
no time machine. There's
Well,
going to be a transition going to take place.
what we have to remember though, in relationships, in marriage, you change daily.
Ooh, in
You
marriage and
change
relationships, you
daily.
change daily.
But if you're looking for positive results, you've got to give positive.
So, what would be an example of, say, giving positive things in order to receive positive results?
One of the things I think is telling your spouse how much you appreciate them
Like one of the
for
things
the
you say,
small things.
what's a small thing?
Like when you bring me water that I didn't ask for,
Mm.
but it's because you know once I see you with that water, I'm going to ask
Now here's
for
the
it.
thing about Carolyn. See, Carolyn is interesting with this deal. It's not just water. I could go and have
Popcorn.
popcorn, and Carolyn wasn't even thinking about no popcorn. And so, as soon as she sees me with it, she's like, "Well, can I have some of that?" And I'm like, "That's been an ongoing thing with us. Is that every time I have something, she's wanting to have some of it." Now I could be a person that says, "Well, why can't you just get your own? Or why do you always got to have what I want?" See, that would be feeding or potentially feeding negative things into your marriage when you should be wanting to share just about everything with your wife. If you like it and she's interested, if they like it, I should say, I always say his and hers when I really should be saying spouse. If they like it, you should like it, and y'all should all come together as one on that deal. But
Yeah.
you know what happens a lot of times? Most people, yeah, I like that. Sharing is caring.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I
Sharing is
care about
caring.
you, I should be willing to share that with you. If I
Mm-hmm.
don't care about you, then at some point, that's going to come to surface.
Yeah, it is. But if when we look at the title, what are you feeding in your
What are
marriage?
you feeding in your
What are you
marriage?
feeding in your marriage?
Ooh-wee.
If you find everything wrong with me, I'm going to start what? Expecting you to find things wrong with me.
And so then that takes me back to this. Why would you even, as that person's spouse, why would you be looking to feed them negative stuff in that marriage?
People don't think about it.
Because whatever, here's how I look at it. I still look at Carolyn with the same googly eyes that I looked at her when I was 25 years of age.
Was it that young?
I was 25, you weren't.
Uh,
I was 25.
okay, you were. I know.
Yeah, and Carolyn was 36.
Yep.
And so I never thought about the fact that there was an age difference. All I thought about was, I see her, I like what I see, so I'm going to pursue this. So what happens is, I think what happens is we become, spouses become complacent.
That's the word I was
Yeah,
sitting
they
here
become complacent. They
getting
get
ready to
familiar. They
say.
get that familiar spirit of, okay, I've been with you 10 years, I've been with you 15 years, and now we've established this routine and this rut, or whatever the case may be. Now along the way we might have children. Now that we going through this routine, and so you're not creating any creativity inside of that marriage. So now what's happening is it's going to be like stagnant water. There's
Uh-huh.
no flow going on, and there's no growth going.
What can go ahead?
No,
I
I
didn't
mean,
mean
I know I was on the
interrupt
road,
you,
but
but routine isn't bad if it's positive.
I routine isn't bad when it's positive. Let me interject with one of our good friends put down. She said, "You were madly in love with Carolyn. I remember."
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's
Yeah, he was.
that is true. That came from
Well,
that,
actually, he still is.
and I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart, because it's true. And this is what has to take place. And I've said this to Carolyn on many occasions that I love her more now than I did then. See, in the beginning, I was pursuing her. And so I don't know what's going to take place in the result of pursuing her. Once the pursuit was over and I captured the prize, then I became complacent.
Hmm.
And that's what happened.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what happened to cause that split.
Mhm.
That caused that split. That caused Carolyn to divorce me because I became a straight knucklehead and I was trying to disguise it.
Mhm.
And I got found out
Mhm.
quickly. So when we say what are you feeding your marriage, you have to, regardless of where you think your spouse is in this relationship, you have to find your way to feeding it positive no matter
Mhm.
what. Is
Mhm.
if you're looking for perfection, it's not going to happen. There is no perfect nothing. That person died and rose.
Well, here's the thing. If you think about the loyalty and the effort that your spouse put in the beginning, what I think couples have a tendency to do is to let it begin to lag and then begin to say something about it rather than say something encouraging like, you know how you used to do this for me? I miss that.
That's a good reminder.
Hmm.
That's like a shot in the arm. That's like, oh, okay. Remember when we used to do this? Remember when you used to say? I give you one example, but you told me to stop doing it, but it still was a good gesture.
What's that?
Is when I was sending you flowers every week.
Let's talk about
I was
flowers.
sending her flowers.
I'm a gardener,
I was
folks.
sending her roses, delivered 12 roses on a regular basis until one day Carolyn came to me and I wasn't in I didn't realize that Carolyn was a gardener. All I was doing was like, listen, I assumed that women love flowers.
And I do.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to send Carolyn, I'm going to get them delivered. And I had them delivered to her office every week,
Yeah.
every 2 weeks actually when
It
I
was
got
every
paid.
2 weeks.
Every time I got paid,
And it wasn't that I didn't like the flowers. I it wasn't that I didn't like the attention that I got when them flowers showed
because all
up.
them women was
Because
up
I can
there.
remember, yeah, that's what I'm getting ready to say. I can remember some of the women in the staff saying, I wish my husband or my boyfriend would send me flowers. My mind is saying, send me something that'll continue to grow.
And that's what Carolyn, and then from that point on, I started getting more intentional and I wasn't giving her roses anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I was going and buying her plants.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I discovered that Carolyn had a green thumb, and now I'm buying her plants. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what kind of. Then I'm asking her, hey, what kind of plant do you like?
Mm-hmm.
She would tell me what kind of plant she like, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy that. Oh, that's a good point.
What?
That point is couples put too many outsiders in their business, especially
Ooh,
people in sad
ouch.
relationships pouring their
Ouch.
bitterness out.
That
True.
is so good.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Miss Ella, because that was one of the things that Carolyn and I had discussions on in the beginning when I was a youngster. And I didn't understand anything about this marriage thing. And I said, Carolyn, we're not, if we don't do anything, we're not going to let outside people come in and interfere with our marriages. with our marriage, not marriages, with our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I broke that,
Yeah.
I broke that, but we didn't. But I like that point that Miss Ella said, not allowing outside people. What do you think about that?
I want to address it
Yes,
because people have a tendency to let outsiders in their soup when they don't know what the flavor is.
mm, that's
Does
deep.
that make sense?
It makes a
In
lot of
other
sense.
words, you're doing an observation from the outside in. And we know that people looking in won't see what we see looking out.
And their marriage may be toxic,
And their marriage may be
but they think
toxic.
they got the best remedy for it. So they're gonna, or they may be single.
You know how I feel
They
about
might be
that.
single. It's toxic either way it go.
Hmm.
And they be me bringing their bitterness into yours because they see some happiness in yours, and they want to cause your stuff to be
For
unhappy.
some reason, people don't like seeing people happy.
And I don't understand that for the life of me. To this day,
When
you
you
and I
figure
do
it
not.
out, will you share it with me?
No, I will, because you and I don't get in other people's Kool-Aid. Even though we are certified marriage coaches, what we do is we work with you to help you get a resolution to your situation.
But we let you invite us
But
in.
we let you
We don't
invite
invite
us into it. We
ourselves
don't
in.
invite. We never have invited ourselves into your situation, whether you be married, single, been divorced, thinking about getting divorced. Because we've had several couples in different dynamics, whether they're currently married, they're on the verge of getting divorced, they might be thinking about getting married, and what we do is sit down with them and say, "Hey, let's just have a candid conversation about what it is that you believe you like about this person." Because marriage is a lifelong commitment.
Lifelong.
We couldn't have got to 40 years without going through the stuff that we went through.
Mm-hmm.
Even the stuff that was bad, of the drug abuse, the alcoholism, and infidelity.
Mm-hmm.
In that order.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, here's what we know. Nobody is a perfect spouse.
Nobody.
Nobody is a perfect
Not even a
spouse.
little. Not even a little bit.
And people are afraid to ask, what can I do for this to work better?
What can I do to make this work better? Sometimes that's a hard question, especially for some people who really just don't want to be transparent. And that's me coming full circle on this thing that Carolyn and I always talk about. Is transparency is the key to having success in your marriage. You got to
Yes.
be willing to be transparent and lay it out, because it may hurt, but that hurt will help you push through the pain.
Help you grow.
It'll help you grow. Because if you're not willing to be transparent and lay yourself out and be vulnerable, and who else can you be more vulnerable with than your spouse?
Well,
Or
who
you should
should
be.
you be more
Yeah, you
vulnerable
should
with?
be. That's your spouse should be considered your best friend.
I find people share things with outsiders that they don't share with their spouses.
That is a remedy and
Or
a setup
disaster.
for disaster and failure in
Mm-hmm.
your marriage. 100%. Because you are sharing something with an outsider that you're not willing to share with your spouse, the person that you sleep with and spend time with every
Every
day.
day. Mm-hmm.
You gotta be able to talk candidly with your spouse. Let me tell you why I say that. It's because I kept secrets from Carolyn for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I'd had two beepers. This was back. I'm dating myself. I had two beepers, and Carolyn had no idea what them beepers were for, because they stayed on vibrate.
Mm-hmm.
They never rang, and they would vibrate a lot. There was a lot of stuff going on that was internal that I was doing, that I wasn't sharing that with other people about my relationship with Carolyn. I was just doing the things that I was doing, I was keeping a lot of see on my other life, living a life of a lie,
Mm-hmm.
working for the postal service, doing these other things outside of that, and it was causing a lot of stress within inside of me. That's probably why I was so is the word enamored? No.
I don't know what you're trying to
Well,
say.
in terms of you know being on drugs so much and alcoholism.
No, the word's not
That's not the
enamored.
word. Okay.
Mm-mm.
I usually go with my English major over here. I got a person that majored that would have majored in English because she said she wanted to be a school teacher.
I did.
So I'm saying that we basically what I'm saying here is transparency is the key. You have to
Mm-hmm.
be willing to sit down and have these open and honest and candid conversations with your spouse. And I'm saying this, and that's basically what we do here on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We open this podcast up for interaction. This is not just Carolyn and I coming on week in and week out sharing our stories, which true we do that, but we open it up for you. What are you feeding
Mm-hmm.
in your marriage? What, no matter how long you've been married, you've been married 50 years, you've been married 60 years, you've been married 1 year, you've been married 6 months, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long. See, the longevity of your marriage is not the one that counts. The quality
Of
of
your
your
marriage.
marriage
That's
is what
good.
counts.
That's good.
Because you could be married for 50 years and still be toxic
Mm-hmm.
and not even be sharing stuff, or you can be married for 6 months to a year and y'all sharing a lot of things. You're establishing the blueprint.
Mm-hmm. Working
Say you're
together.
working together for the common good and the end with the expected end in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, we understand how this works. Come, whatever the situation is, we're gonna sit here and work this out.
Mm-hmm. Well, the key thing is that healthy marriages have to learn how to water the good instead of the bad.
Ooh,
And again, I said I was a gardener. If you don't water them plants, they will not grow.
ooh, that's a good one right there.
What?
If you don't water them plants,
They will not
they will
grow.
not grow. But Mona said something that was deep. She said, transparency, being naked with your partner, discussing your feelings, issues, problems, and desires. That right there, my friend, is a true recipe for success.
Yes, it is.
And I ain't saying that just to be saying that. I'm saying that because that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is true. This is the reason why a lot of marriages fail is because they don't want to be true with themselves first.
And they don't want to be truly transparent.
Right. Because if you can't be naked with your spouse, who can you be naked with?
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able to lay it all out online. Like, hey, even as close as this, like, I messed up, Carolyn. I need help. Now, I'm not sure where you're going to take this of me sharing this with you,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm hoping and praying that we can work this out, depending on the degree of what it is you're about to share.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people ain't willing, because you said something, they're not willing to share that because you said something to me, but I wasn't ready. And this was back then. She said, well, Greg, I wish you would have told me about the child before. And I said, Carolyn, there's no way that I was about to share that with you.
Oh, but be clear with what you said when I said it. You said, I didn't share it because I was afraid of losing you.
Exactly.
And
At
my response
100%.
was, you lost me because you waited till the baby was almost an adult to tell me
Well, he
about
was
him.
5. He wasn't
Well,
almost
you
an
get my
adult.
point.
Well, but let's be clear now. The baby wasn't almost an
Uh,
adult. People
Look,
on
I'm sorry.
the live
The
gonna be
baby
like,
was
he was
almost
almost
5.
5. He wasn't almost an adult. That's a little extreme.
Here's the thing. The baby was almost 5
He
and he knew
was.
about it.
He
And
was.
my thing was, had you come to me when the girl first told you she was
I
pregnant,
couldn't run that risk.
I think I could have considered
I
it.
wasn't willing. I wasn't willing to roll the dice like that.
Well,
What
I'm
Mona said
hoping
is
this is
truly the
helping
key to a
somebody.
successful, loving marriage. my friend Sam, he concurred. He said what Mona said is truly the key to a successful loving marriage.
Yeah,
Transparency.
transparency.
Because I understand it and I had to live it the hard way in order to deal with it. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like the fact that we filed two bankruptcies. And I had to come clean to Carolyn and say she knew about what we were doing as far as the real estate transactions, but I
Mm-hmm.
had to come clean and say, Carolyn, listen, I done made a mistake. But I didn't did some things that put us in a financial bind. But okay, I'm gonna work to do this to work this out. So then what she did is said, okay, you're not in this by yourself. We're in this together. We're gonna work this out and come through this.
Mm-hmm.
We had to sit down and have that hard conversation.
We did.
Yes. But
That,
had I not been willing to become clean
yeah.
on the transparency piece,
Because I won't say it didn't hurt,
oh, it hurt.
but we grew through it.
Yes, because we went from one car. No, we went from what we go from one car to no car.
We went
No, we
from
went from
two
two cars
cars
to one
to
car
one car
to
to
no
no
car.
car.
Wow. While we were retired from the postal service. So on the outside looking in, people were looking, well, they got it going on. They didn't retire from the post office, blah, blah, blah.
But let me say this, because the second bankruptcy was neither one of our faults. The
Oh, that's
second
true.
bankruptcy,
That's true.
the second bankruptcy was a result of the economy and what happened with the housing market.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah.
The first one was my fault.
The
But
first
second
one, yeah, you were doing some crazy
I was
stuff.
doing some. I thought I was. Yeah, I thought I was. I thought it was it. And I was. And I had give. Look, I started the business in 1998. I gave my life to Christ in 1999.
Right.
We didn't file for the bankruptcy, the first one, until 2002.
Right.
So between 98 and 2002, I'm buying property and in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And I'm buying properties like I'm drinking water.
Yeah. What's the name of one of them famous real estate people?
Ron LeGrand.
Yeah, you thought you were Ron
I thought I was
LeGrand.
Ron LeGrand. If y'all don't know who Ron LeGrand is, just go Google him. He's still around, still living.
Yeah.
I had taken a couple of his courses, and I thought I was it. And so I learned a lot. I made some money. I lost some money, but I learned hard.
Well, here's the one thing that I will share that was a blessing in the second bankruptcy.
I'm listening.
You know what I'm going to say?
Not really,
Okay.
but we say so much.
Well, we had put everything in the bankruptcy, but the truck.
Oh,
We had put it. This was a new.
It was a brand new truck.
This was a brand new.
It was a 2002
What
Chevy.
y'all call them? Tricked out truck.
It had all the bells and whistles on it. It was brand new off the showroom floor,
Mm-hmm.
black on black, 2002. It was beautiful.
Yeah. So anyway, we didn't put it in the bankruptcy.
Nope.
Then we get a letter in the mail that says, we're repossessing your truck.
Mm-hmm.
So for folks who think we ain't been through some stuff, we're repossessing your truck.
Yeah.
Do you want us to come and get it? Or do you want to bring it to us?
Yep, absolutely.
And so I said to Greg, I says, so what do you want to do? He says, I'll take it to him.
Take it to him.
So, but I want to tell you how good our God is. Because they said in the letter that whatever they didn't get from selling the truck would be added to what we owed.
We'd have to pay the difference.
And about 2.5 months after the truck was turned in, I get a letter in the mail. Well, actually, we get a letter in the mail. And it says, your truck has been sold and you owe us. And my mind is already going to, here's going to be $20,000 more dollars. And it said 0.
Yes.
So I called Craig at work and I said, this is what just came. And he says, are you sure you're reading it right? I said we serve an awesome God.
Amen. So that again, that goes along with what are you feeding? Are you being transparent? Do you want to be transparent? Is the desire to be with this person to death do us part in sickness and health?
Mm-hmm.
And those marriage vows are real.
They're
So
real.
this is what we tell people. Even if you're considering getting married, you
Mm-hmm.
gotta look. You gotta sit down. And Habakkuk says this perfectly. You gotta sit down and count the cost.
Write the vision.
Write the vision.
Make it plain.
Make it plain.
So that
Those
he
who
who read
read
it.
it will run with it. That's a serious declaration in the blueprint to life, which is called the Bible. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
unapologetic about talking about the Bible, about talking about Jesus. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to try to offend you or any of that nature. It's just
Right.
me on a conviction of where God has brought us to this place we call marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Because we understand that's Miss Cynthia, the best half of Sam Wilson,
Oh, bless the Lord.
Pastor Cynthia Wilson.
All right.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
joking with Sam. That's
God is
our
so
friends out in
good.
Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what we're saying here is we love to come out here and share our life experience because this is like this what God said. If this word can help
Person.
one
Mm-hmm.
couple, our job is complete.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to keep doing this week in and week out, no matter what.
Yeah.
Only way that we don't do this together is that one of us has gone on to be with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way we don't do this together. We've made a commitment to ourselves. We've made a commitment to God that we're going to share this message.
Mm-hmm.
Married with a purpose.
Married with a
You
purpose.
have to understand why you are married to that person.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we created, and it was God created from God, married with a purpose.
Yes.
If you don't know the purpose of a thing, guess what you're going to do?
Abuse it.
And guess what? I didn't understand the purpose of Carolyn and the significance of it. I abused it. And what did God do? He took it.
Mm-hmm.
He took it. So I made a personal declaration to God that if you give me another opportunity with Carolyn, it don't make no difference what happens. I ain't going nowhere unless it's time for God to call me home and say, it's time to go, brother. Your time is up. And be like, okay, Lord, I get it. So that's what we feed each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we like to feed you. We never know from week to week what we're going to share. It's not scripted.
Tell them how long we knew what this was going to be about.
Probably
about an hour before.
Well, no, it wasn't an hour before.
It wasn't.
It was 3 hours before.
It wasn't 3.
It was 3:00. It was 3:00, honey. It was 3:00.
Okay.
We left your niece's.
Right,
we left the niece's house, and we said. And Carolyn asked me, "What are we going to talk about this
today?"
Because we're going through a whole lot of stuff, and this is something that's a sad occasion. Carolyn lost her sister yesterday on Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she had been battling a very serious illness, and the Lord said, "Okay, it's time to come." Serious prayer warrior as she was, and she will truly be missed.
Mm-hmm.
But just like anything else, life still keeps lifing.
Yeah,
life don't stop because someone transitions.
Mm-hmm. What did I say to you yesterday?
You said a lot, but tell me.
I said she passed, and I says, and we're feeling some kind of way, but she ain't the only one that passed yesterday.
Who else passed?
We don't know.
Right.
A lot of people died yesterday.
Well, every day somebody dies.
Right.
Here's what happens in life. Every day someone dies, and every day someone's born.
Mm-hmm.
So life and death is taking place every day.
Every day.
Every day somewhere. Just like it's raining somewhere right now.
It's not raining here.
It's just not raining right here.
Right.
But someone is dying.
Right.
And it is a tragic thing, and it hurts, and it's painful. And like I was sharing with her daughters today, I was giving them a trip down memory lane for me. I lost my mother in 2016, the summer of 2016. I lost my grandmother in the winter of 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And I still miss them both.
Mm-hmm.
What you have to do is cherish the moments that you
Cherish the moment.
shared with them. That's the memories. It's a lot that just happened 48 hours ago,
Ain't been
not even
48.
48.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to just take some time and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the times that you really have to be with your spouse and have these intimate conversations.
Yeah.
And Carolyn and I are no exception to the rule.
Mm-hmm.
You still gotta we still have to have these intimate conversations. What are you feeding your marriage?
What are you feeding in your marriage?
So we're feeding our marriage love, respect, honor, discipline,
Mm-hmm.
and we're being consistently doing it
Mm-hmm.
every day.
Right.
Love, honor, respect,
Mm-hmm.
consistently. You have to respect your spouse's space. You have to respect and cherish the moment.
Right.
Yes, because everything can be gone in a twinkling of
Of
an
an
eye.
eye. Yeah.
That's why you have to do the right thing and be transparent with your spouse
Mm-hmm.
every day.
Every day.
So my wife is gonna close out with a nice quote that she's come up with. If you want to follow us in depth, I'll have the link to our website, which is a catchy website. Twice the vowels, twice the grace. And if you go over there and you look real closely, you'll see where if you click on the thing guide and give up your information, you'll get a guide that we put together that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be for your favorite four-letter word.
Free.
Yes. Free.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. No strings attached. All you're doing is giving up your name and your email, and you're getting that guide. You can download it, read it. We would love to get your feedback on it. If you've already received the guide, then come in. Feed it compassion, patience, and joy.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
Yes, yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yes. See, I'm excited about this is because I understand where I was. And I know life is short. And that's why I cherish every moment that I'm with Carolyn. Because I
Mm-hmm.
know it's a gift.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gift that God gifted me because what does the Bible say? He who finds a wife
Finds a
finds a
good
good
thing
thing and
and
obtains
obtains the
favor
favor of
of
the
the Lord.
Lord.
So I'm like, Lord, thank you for that favor.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for the favor that you bestowed upon me.
Uh-huh. That's so good.
Oh,
So you want to hear this?
I do.
Your marriage will become whatever you continuously focus on. If you keep feeding the negative, distance will grow.
Mm.
But if you learn to water the good, protect the connection, and extend grace, love has a way of blooming again.
Extend the grace. Love has a way of blooming again, just like them plants you plant.
Mm-hmm.
And they come up, what they call annuals.
My annuals.
Annuals come up every year. I never
Yes.
understood the difference between a perennial
All
and
them
an annual.
flowers you see out there
Those are
around it,
all annuals.
those are
We're gonna
annuals.
take a picture one day and show them your beautiful
Yeah.
yard. Because people come. We live on a corner, and people come and they say, "Ooh, your yard is so
Mm-hmm.
beautiful." Well,
Yeah.
that came with a lot of work and care.
Yes.
Yeah, that didn't come overnight. Just like this beautiful marriage that we have didn't come overnight. Yours ain't gonna happen overnight. Love, honor, and respect should be in the foundation of every marriage. That is correct. Love, honor, and respect.
But people need to think that they need to do that when they get married. I think people spend more thought on the wedding and the dress and the honeymoon and not the life they have to live
Woo!
together.
Oh, now see, that would have to be for the next podcast, honey, because you gave a lot, and we could go down a rabbit hole on that because a lot of people do spend a lot of time on the wedding. Because I know when we got married in July the 23rd, 1988, I spent 10 grand.
You spent more than that, dear.
Well, I started with 10 grand.
Okay.
Yep. And Miss Ella said it in closing. Nurture.
I like that.
You gotta nurture.
I like that, Miss Ella. I love that.
And so here I am. You see me touching on Carolyn. I am setting myself up for the nurturing part. Yeah, I'm
Keep rubbing.
I keep on rubbing because one of her love languages is touch.
Yes.
Mine's is words of affirmation. So she gives me affirmation. I give her touch. And that creates a very good nurturing remedy.
Yeah, it does.
So with that said, I love you, or we love you. God loves you more. And again, you can go to our website and get that guide. We're going to come here every Monday, God willing, and the creek don't rise. I'm dating myself again. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you got anything out of this, share this because sharing is caring. We want to thank everyone that came in and participate because we know engagement is a beautiful thing. And we just want to help a marriage flourish.
Can I add one thing?
Always.
Grace changes the atmosphere of a marriage.
Grace changes the atmosphere of a marriage. So I'm going to end this like I end them all. To God be the glory.